Hi guys, it's Chris with City or Homestead. So today's Thankful Thursday. Not quite sure what I'm talking about today, but I guess we'll figure it out. Usually comes out of my heart somehow. The first thing I want to say is I'm always thankful to my Lord and Savior. Always and always. He gets me through the roughest of times and the worst of times, but sometimes the best of times too. So actually, well, I've been making this stuff this week. Someone mentioned Nougat. And I don't know if you remember those Brock's candies. Oh, I loved them. And a couple of years ago, I made them. And I gave some to Courtney's mom, too. And they really do taste very, very good. So I am going to make that today and one other thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to chop all of them up, because I think it's nice to have some nice full chunks too, but I'm using dots, the Christmas ones, and I'm just going to kind of chop them in half, maybe. They don't chop very easy, so maybe not. No, I think we'll just have them whole pieces. Alright, so we need 2 cups of those anyway. It was the thought that counted, right? I love these things. Actually, I'll tell you a story. My uncle, Bob, actually yesterday was his birthday. He died in 1977, and he was my favorite uncle. He's who my youngest son is named after. And he was an amazing guy. And when he died, I got a box of dots from him, and then, you know, those other little fruit things. And so to this day, I love those things. It reminds me of him. He was an amazing guy. He was the one that I told you about that was like, oh, what do you call them, loggers or whatever. Yeah, that was him. He was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to need, let me prep my container first. Hold on. All right, so I have my pan prepared first. I put the spray on the bottom and then inside. You want to make sure you spray that really good because nougat will stick to it. So, you need 2 bags of mini marshmallows. I'm very thankful that I have a lot of you that actually act like family. And they look out, you look out for me, and sometimes family doesn't have to be blood to make sense. You know, I have a really small family, actually. I have a brother, I have a nephew, a niece, and a few cousins, but, you know, we don't really talk a lot. So, you know, as you get older, your family gets smaller. So it's really nice to have those of you that kind of look out for me. I appreciate that. You also need 2 bags of the vanilla or white chips. I am very thankful. You guys were, you know, like prayerful and everything when we were sick and hoping for the best for us. And, you know, that's nice to have people looking out for you. And then you're going to use that 2 tablespoons of butter. And you're going to microwave this until it comes to, you know, a really nice smooth consistency. So I'll be right back as soon as that is. Alright, so it took about 3 minutes. Now we're going to put all that candy in with it. And mind you, this is a very, very sticky job. And we're going to get that mixed in with that. There's so many things I wished I could say that I'm thankful for, but I can't because I just can't. But anyway, I am also thankful for my life, that I woke up this morning, that you think things are bad and you know, and it's sad to say this, but there's always worse somewhere, you know, and we sometimes forget that. And whoa, I guess that was pretty strong. It broke my thing here. All right, let's do something else here. I'm going to spray my spoon with some nonstick spray. And that'll make it a little bit easier. I should have done that to begin with and I didn't think about it. You know, we think about all the things that we can't do, you know, because we don't have the money or the health or the strength or whatever it happens to be. But then we forget to be thankful for that too, because that same thing, there's people that can't pay their bills. There's people that don't have food on the table. There's people that, you know, have no one. There's people that, you know, are homeless, everything. There's people that don't know God. There's, you know, we think about all these things and we need to be thankful and grateful for what we do have, because there's so many that don't have that. Do you know what I mean? Like, are we always put in the best of circumstances? No. But, you know, do we have to make the best of them? Yes. You know, I think about it. Every morning when I wake up, I watch 2 shows. It doesn't matter what it is. They're just religious shows, and they're about 15 minutes apiece. And it gives you a perspective of, you know, different things, honestly. And I'm thankful that I'm learning to be thankful, to be grateful. You know, I mean, I think I always have. But to what extent? You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be another one that makes no sense. I have a lot of that, I guess. I think in my head sometimes I make sense, but, you know, but who knows? This is a sticky mess, but it's well worth it, you guys. It's so yummy. When that lady asked, she said, "Did your grandma ever make nougat?" And I don't remember her making it. But I do remember going to the store and they'd have those Brock stands, Brocks, however you say it, and you could get a piece of candy for 5 cents. And I would either pick this or the Neapolitan, because I really love that too. And I haven't found a recipe yet of the Neapolitan that I think would turn out to what I would want. So until I do, I'm not going to make that. Look how sticky that is, you guys. It's really sticky. I'm thankful for things like little Nina. She thought that Tom was going to offer her a bite last night, and he didn't. So we're going to try to remember to do that tonight. But even a child can see good in people, and I think that's amazing. I think that's so important. Look at that. See if I can smooth out just a little bit. I haven't got to see my grandkids at all this week. I am so bumming. All right, how does that look? Now I'm going to put that in the refrigerator and let it get hardened up, and then obviously you'll come back a few hours later and you'll cut it up. So maybe it'll be done by supper, and then I can show you what a piece is like. So let me get this put in the fridge, and then I'll be right back with the next one. All right, everything's cleaned back up again. Let me tell you what, that was a mess to clean up. I've restarted this a million times, not really, but a couple times, because I'm really not quite sure what to say today. I do have more family than just my brother and my nieces and my nephew. And a few, well, I have one aunt left. But I have cousins that we just don't chat much. I do have my husband and my sons and my daughter-in-laws, my grandsons, and I'm very grateful for them. And I do have you, and that I'm very, very grateful for. When you guys make comments in there, believe it or not, a lot of those comments really do make my day, and I appreciate that so much. So when I was washing dishes, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say, because I don't think about it the day before, the week before, or whatever. And sometimes, like I said, it's so hard to say in words what you're thankful for when there's so much that you're thankful for. But, you know, I got to thinking about dreams and aspirations and memories and all this while I'm washing dishes. You can imagine how my mind is. And how, whether they're good or bad, there's something to, you know what I mean? Like, your memories. Sorry, I forgot my train of thought. I had a customer call in. Anyways, let me start chopping these nuts and then we'll keep talking. This video is probably going to be one of the worst videos I've ever done, honestly. All right. So I'm going to get these chopped up pretty fine. Not too small, but, you know, pretty good. So anyway, dreams and aspirations. And, you know, you're thankful for whatever. Like, I wanted to be a teacher. And in some ways, with the climate and the way that some of these young kids are nowadays, I'm kind of thankful that I wasn't a teacher, you know. And I thought about being a lawyer at one point, and that might have been really good for me, because sometimes I like to argue. But, you know, you think about all the things that you could have, would have, should have done. And are you happy with what you came up with? You know what I mean? Like, out of all things that I'm thankful for, regardless of career choices or whatever, is honestly being a mom. That, to me, was the greatest thing I've ever chosen to do. And I'm very, very thankful and very grateful for that. And so all those other dreams and aspirations, you know, nothing topped becoming a mom. Nothing. I mean, those of you that are moms, you probably understand. Now, career choices, you know, I'm thankful for the job that I have. I haven't been working it much, because I really do need a strong voice for that. And a strong drive, to be honest. It's sales. And that drive has kind of left me, if that makes any sense. So, I'm thankful that I chose YouTube. It's been pulling at my heart for quite a while. And, you know, like, people think that people make so much money off of YouTube, and that's not true. That's not true. I used to think the same thing, and it's not true. Now, in the beginning, do you start to make that money like that? No, but I'm sure after, you know, a few years, like Renee and I were talking, she says it took a good 4 years before she started making, you know, decent money. And so you put in your time with that too, you know what I mean? But what the YouTube has allowed me to do, and I'm thankful for this, is that because I haven't been able to work my other job, for the first time in my life, I know this sounds really stupid, but I've been able to be a housewife. I've never had that opportunity to be just a housewife or just a mom. You know, when my oldest one was little, when he was born, I took a week off of work. I had a cesarean, and I was right back to work. We didn't have a choice. I mean, we made $9,000 a year between the two of us. what are we going to do? Let them starve? You know? And I've never been able to be that stay-at-home mom. Now, like, if I chose jobs that after my divorce I could work from home so that nobody else was raising my kids, yeah, I have done that. But to actually just, like, my car, until Tom took my car to work today, hasn't moved since Monday. And I've just been, you know, doing the baking and the cooking and you know, having his dinner ready for him. And I know that sounds really old-fashioned, but it feels nice to do that. I mean, it feels really nice to do that. And I know this is going to sound so stupid, but the last 2 weeks, honestly, have been some of the best of my life, because I'm not waking up to go make phone calls for my job, because I know that my voice is not going to do it, whatever, you know, because the first thing I do is get up in the morning and get my list up there and get ready to call and blah, blah, blah. And I haven't done that for 2 weeks. I haven't pulled a list up, not one. Now, does it affect my income? Oh, yeah, big time. And will I get back to it? Yes. There isn't a choice. But honestly, the last 2 weeks has been, I mean, not like jump up and down happy, but, you know, it isn't the finances that always make you happy. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just the little acts of it. I remember when I lived with my boyfriend for 7 years, years ago, when I was really young. And I used to tell him, because I was like this headstrong girl, you know, I used to tell him, if we ever have kids, you're going to stay home with the kids, and I'm going to go out and work, and blah, 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 and whatever, you know. And then I had a kid. And, you know, I didn't like working as much anymore, because I really wanted to be home with my baby. So I'm thankful for the last couple of weeks that even though my voice isn't back all the way yet and I've been sick, I'm thankful for that time that I've actually been able to be a housewife. And I want to say, you know, I'm thankful for, like, a couple of days ago, and then someone yesterday, they said that it feels like they're sitting along next to me. And in my heart, I hope that you guys know you are. Like, I know my kitchen's small, and I got, like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 people, whatever it is, but I'll make room. And it seems like when we chat like this, like, it's just you and me. Do you know what I mean? I just wish I could hear you on the other end, so that's what your comments are. So, I know this is rambling on. This is what happens when I don't have something planned out, right? All right, so let's get on, and then maybe something else will come to my heart, and then we'll figure something else out too. Now, if you remember right, yesterday I told you I found a package of butterscotch baking chips. And they're dated for 2024, so they're still good. Believe it or not, they're still good. I was like, heck yeah. So I didn't know what to do with them, because, you know, you want to use them up. You don't want to get all nasty and whatever, so I'm going to figure something out here. Alright, I'm going to use just a little bit, not a whole lot, of the coconut oil. Or, yeah, coconut oil. Put about that much in there. And then I'm going to melt this, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so it's melted, and now I'm going to add those walnuts to it. And then stir that all together. So I'm going to try to make like a caramel walnut candy, I guess. We'll see how it turns out. What's the worst thing? It turns out like crap. I guess that's the worst thing that could be. Alrighty. It's going to be nice thick candy if nothing else, right? Alright. So then I bought these the little tiny, like candy wrapper things from the Dollar Tree the other day. So what I'm going to do is kind of like what we did yesterday, but because it's too thick to pour, I'm just going to put some in and just put it in there. Boy, they're tight together, I guess. So I thought about something else. So we talk about memories, and some of them are bad ones. And I thought about the phoenix, you know? Isn't that the bird that has to go through whatever and flames up and then it comes out good again? So if you guys are survivors of anything that's, whether it's people just being jerks to you, whatever it happens to be, that didn't turn out very good. You're like a phoenix. You come out the other side and you're beautiful and new. So anything that's happened in your past and, you know, you're like, oh, you know, just think about that. You're a survivor and you have come out beautiful. And you might come out a little bit scarred, a little bit charred, but you've come out beautiful. And so be grateful for that. Be grateful that you have survived everything that's ever been thrown at you. Whether it's just people being jerks or abuse, whatever it happens to be. You know, if you came out of a bad relationship or you had a bad childhood, whatever it happens to be. Be grateful that you came out a survivor and you shine now. You shine like a light because you're like a phoenix. And so that's one thing that I wanted to say. I know, it doesn't make sense. At least I'm not crying yet. That's a good thing. I don't know if this was such a great idea, but we'll see. We'll see. I just didn't want to see the butterscotch chips go to waste, you know what I mean? So I thought, well, I should do something with them, and I've got tons of walnuts, and thought I might as well use them up somehow. So then I had a memory that hit me, and I thought about it. And so I thought I'd share it with you guys, because I think you'd get a kick out of it too. So, like I told you about my grandparents, and they were the best people on the earth. I'm not even lying, hands down. And I loved spending my time with them. Well, my grandpa was 23 years older than my grandma. She was 17, he was 40. My first uncle was born December 13th of 1940. Oops. I know I didn't think about that till I was like a teenager, and I says, when was Uncle Bob born? And she's told me when, and I go, but you were married in April. Was he early? No. Anyways, you know, so when I was born was 1966. So because my grandpa was born in 1900, it's easy to keep track of. But I remember we used to go to Bass Lake, and I've showed you guys a few pictures of that, and that's where I would love to be, but I can't afford to live on that lake anymore. It used to be really cheap. But anyway, so they used to have this great big, huge, my mom used to dance there actually. It was like this great big barn, and I can't even remember what they called it back then. But anyway, they used to have people that came in and sang, and people go out there and dance and party and whatever, you know, and then it got run out of town. But they had, it was right on the waterfront. And they had these steps that would go down into the lake. And my grandfather, mind you, he was 66 when I was born. And he would climb down on those steps. And he'd say, Chrissy, climb up. And he would literally have me get on his shoulders and jump into the water. That's before the water table started going down and everything, you know. But, you know, I think about things like that it brings a sparkle to your eye, you know, that even though he was old, like he was probably 70, 72 at the time, he wanted to make our childhood amazing. And, you know, that says a lot about a person. It really does. So I think maybe the reason I thought about that today is because, you know, they say 100 years from now, nobody will remember you because all the pictures will be gone and nobody visits your graves anymore and whatever. And you know what? That's true because I visit my grandmother on my dad's side's grave every year because it was a promise to my mom. I never met her. I visit my sister's grave every year and I put flowers on there. I never met her. She died in 1961. But you do that because, you know, the memories of the persons that you do know. And, I mean, I looked at my mom's maiden name was Quarter. And I happened to look at the graveyard that Tom and I are going to be buried at. And I happened to look and see how many quarters are there. And, oh my gosh, you guys, my family could own that. Not that bad, but honestly, there's that many. And you think about, like, once your kids get older and do they pass it down to their kids and stuff like our parents used to do and our grandparents. Do they do that anymore? I'm not sure. I don't think my kids have ever been to my mom's grave. They've been to my grandma's because I've taken them with me when they were younger. But what are people going to remember you for? Do you have that crowning moment that someone thought to themselves, now that's a person I'd like to be like. That's a person that, you know what, on a bad day can make it a good day. Do you have any memories like that that can make you stand out in a crowd, that when you're dead and gone, your grandchildren or your children, friends, family, whatever it happens to be, that they'll remember you for something that was good? Because we've all done bad in our lives. I mean, anybody that says they haven't, they're not telling the truth. But if you were to go today, is it only the bad things that they would remember? So I guess my challenge to all of you is, you know, and if you have a memory like that you know that your grandkids or kids are going to remember, or nieces, nephews, whatever it happens to be, put it in the comments below. And a memory that you think that would mean the world to someone else. Because, there, I don't know how many I got, but 5, 9, 10, 13, 15, 18, 20 of them. And nothing went to waste. So that's a good thing. So, but yeah, make a comment on what you think that someone would remember you for. It could be, you're the neighborhood door opener. I don't know, you know. But that's a challenge to you guys today. I have another challenge for you. Because today was a little bit rough. I couldn't really come up with a whole lot, and I truly am sorry for that. But what is something that you could do to make the difference in someone's life today? And if you could, please comment that. Like, you know, there's some days when you think that life goes rough, and then all of a sudden your kid or grandkid or your somebody out of the blue, they call you and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? So is there someone today that you could call or text or whatever that would make their day? So that's my challenge to you today. Do something out of the ordinary and make someone smile today. It's the holidays, and I think that memories, whether good or bad, they can become overwhelming. I think that I don't even know how to put it. I think memories and actions make us who we are. And sometimes there's bad, and, you know, that makes us who we are too. And sometimes there's those good memories that just they make it all worth it. They really do. I mean, I have so many good memories of my grandparents that anything that could have happened, it didn't completely override it, but it made it a whole lot easier. Like, I can remember silly things like, Chrissy, you want to go out and get a turtle? You know, and so my grandma and I would go out to the farmer in the dell and we'd get a turtle. And just like if she knew I was bumming, you guys, I've been driving since I was probably, I don't know, 10 years old. And she would actually, we lived in a small town, you know, so she'd let me take my car, and the kids, and actually their parents knew I was the one driving them to the lake. And she'd go, well, why don't you just go for a drive, you know what I mean? But there's so many memories that just are so overpowering during the holidays. And I pray and I hope that all of you guys have an amazing holiday. You have an amazing rest of the year. Shoot, an amazing life. Who am I kidding? And that, you know what? You can look back at memories, good and bad. And my thankfulness for that will be that good comes out of it. That you come out like that bird. That you come out and you shine. You're better than before. Because no matter what you're going through, good or bad, there's always someone that's got it worse. And I think sometimes we forget that. So I don't know if this was really a Thankful Thursday. I don't know. I'm just babbling. Who knows? Who knows? I just like connecting with you guys in the Thankful Thursday. I truly am grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for my family and God and everything good and bad. I used to honestly, and I still don't like it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me jaded. I don't like when bad things happen. I don't. I mean, to you, to me, to anybody. I don't want to see anyone hurt. Not ever. But you know, just like that phoenix, like I've been talking about, you know, out of bad comes good. If you don't know bad, you don't know good. If you don't know happy, you don't know sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't experience ever anything bad, and I was watching a show yesterday, and it was like, you know, if you've always been at the low end, you know that if things happen, you know what? You know you got to dust it off, and you're going to pick back up, and you're going to be okay. If you're up here, and then all of a sudden you drop way down here, you're just like, and then what do? You're lost. So, you know, I guess in some ways, you know, if you're down here and you're working up, that's a good thing. If you're up here and you're down, that's a bad thing. But anyway, that didn't make any sense either. But know this, I am thankful for you guys. I am so thankful that you guys, you know, watch my videos and you comment and you put likes and you share them. I've seen people sharing my videos, and I appreciate that because it really does help build my channel up. Because let me tell you what, until you get in that algorithm, they don't put you out there. So I am very thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for everything that you do. If it's watching the videos, if it's liking them, if it's commenting on them, if it's sending me gifts, if it's praise, if it's not praise. I appreciate all that, and I thank you for that. I really, truly do love each and every one of you. And I really, truly hope that all of you have so many to love too. So I'm going to get these cooled down, and then I'll have something else to put in the freezer for next week. starting to dwindle down what I got to do. Next week I have, well, the 24 loaves of bread to make. I want to make a batch of cinnamon rolls for the fire department and for the police department. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. Not sure I'm going to have time, but shh, don't tell my kids. I'm thinking about making individual pies instead of making big pies, because like my daughter-in-law was saying, you know, you always have so much left over, and I do. But with the individual pies, I can put them in the freezer for Tom. But wait till you see how I'm going to make them. Blow your mind. Maybe not, but anyway. So we're going to, tomorrow I'm going to cook for Jack, and then I'm going to do a dinner for both of us, and it won't be a soup. It's going to be something else. And then Saturday, my favorite soup in the world is what I'm making for me and Tom. Woohoo! I love it. So the next, until the beginning of the year, I'm just going to do whatever recipes. Because I figure a lot of people have kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews and whatever. They're home from school. Nobody wants the fancy stuff. Kids don't want to have soup all the time. Whatever happens to be, they're going to be fun, easy, and probably not healthy recipes. As soon as the first of the year gets over, I think it's the 3rd, I'm going to start. I took a poll today, and it seems like people like it. I'm going to try to do some one-pot meals. Because you know what? We're going to be even more tired after the holidays because we had to put up with all those youngsters. Anyways, you guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I am sorry this was way over the top today and way out there and probably couldn't understand any of it. So, I love you guys. You guys have a blessed day. I'll be back for supper.